Yeah, hello. My name is Abiodun Smith, and through this video, I quickly want to take you through the Royalq board trade setup terminologies, things you need to understand to actually be able to set up your trade easily. So let's go straight away. The first thing you do is you come to quantitative, this which is this, to pick a coin to trade once you have a signal or you are sure of a coin to trade to be traded. So click on it. Once you click on it, it brings you to this page where you have two classes of coins. Some coins are classified under the general, while some under the professional. So you can go through, browse through any of those sections to choose your coin. So now let's stay with the general, and I want to choose a coin called XTZ for the purpose of this illustration. So here is XTZ. So I click on it. So once I click on it, it brings me to this area where you can see. So you need to actually understand everything here. Now to do that, and you need to understand everything here. First of all, let's take it one step at a time. So where you want to come next is trade setting. I want to start from trade setting. So you come to trade setting. So we'll click on it. Once you click on trade setting, the first thing you are seeing is your first buying amount, and there we have $20. Now the first buying amount simply means the amount you want the robot to start trading for you with. You know, the first your first buying amount, the amount you are buying first. That is that. Then the next thing you have is open position doubled. The open position double means whatever amount you choose, if this is active, it's going to be doubling that amount and even subsequent amount in your margin calls. So we don't want to do that except you are so sure and you have enough funds. So we are not going to be using this open position doubled in most cases here. So the next thing you want to know is the margin call limit where you have 10 times. That simply means the number of time you want it to buy for you. You want the robot to keep buying for you as the market keeps dropping, as the market keeps dipping, as price keeps dropping. The number of time you want it to buy for you. And what will determine this actually is the amount you have to trade. So the more money you have to trade, the better it can buy the dip for you because that gives you best result. The more margin call limit you have, the better profit you make, the longer time you can spend in the market, whether the market, even when the market is going down trend. So you can make more money even when the market is going down. So that is margin call limit. That is the number of times you want it to buy for you as the market keeps dipping. The next thing is the whole position take profit ratio where you have 1.3%. Now, what that simply means is that you want the robot to take profit for you at every 1.3% upward price movement. It should take your profit for you at 1.3%. There you can put anything. You can put 1 point, well, you basically I advise 1.3, 1.5. But if you're sure the market is going to seriously go up, you can do more than that. You can put 2%, 3%, 4%, even 10, 20%. But it depends on you. But basically, at times you might put something high, maybe you put 10%, and the market reaches 5% and comes down again. It means, where you would have taken profit of 5%, you would be losing totally because you won't even take anything while the market drops before reaching your target percentage. So you want to take small profits, and accumulation of that small profit can make a whole lot of difference. So between 1.3 and 1.5% is okay because that can easily be achieved. So the next thing you want to know is the whole position take profit callback, which where you are seeing 0.1%. Now the meaning of that is now once your take profit gets to 1.3% as you have set here, the robot doesn't take profit immediately at 1.3%. It still gives you some chances of upward movement if the price still keeps moving upward to increase your chances of taking more profit. But at any turn, when the price drops by 0.1%, it immediately takes your profit for you. So that whole position take profit callback. This is when there's a callback of 0.1% from your set take profit, or from a slight upward movement, and that there's a callback of 0.1, it quickly takes your profit for you. I hope you get that. Then we have the margin configuration. I'll be coming back there, which is the major place I really need you to understand very well. Then we have the buying callback, where you see 0.5%. The buying callback simply means once profit has been taken for you, now, the robot will now wait for a further drop of 0.5% before it now buys for you again. Before it takes on the next transaction, before it buys for you again, it waits for a drop, a callback of 0.5%. And that is that. Then the next thing is distributed and take profit allocation. I'll be coming to that also. Then here, the last thing we are seeing is sub position take profit, which is 0.5%. Now, I'll be explaining that also, because that has to do with your distributed and take profit allocation. Take profit allocation. So that is that. So the next thing now I want to do is I want to go to the margin configuration, which is here. Now let's click on it. Now before we go, I want you to take note. Here is margin call limit, and here is margin configuration. Here is where you actually configure the instruction you have given here, which is the number of times you have told it to buy for you as the market keeps going down. So the margin configuration is actually where you are going to configure and complete the instruction. So here you can see we have 10 times. So take note of that. You can see we have 10 times. So now let's go to the margin configuration. You click on it. Now it takes you here. Now from the beginning, you can see first call. And let me scroll to the end. You can see 10th call. Now, the meaning of that is the reason why we have first call to 10th call is because we have chosen 10 in that margin call limit, meaning we want it to buy for us 10 times as the market going deep. So, and that is what it means. It means from your first call, the market goes deep to second call, third call, to your 10th call. So now, what does it mean here? The meaning of all this you are seeing here is now, from your first buying order of the $20 we saw at the previous page, it means if price drops 3% from that point, it will buy 2 times more for you. That 2 times mean it will always duplicate your first buying order. Your first buying order was $20. So 2 times here will mean $40. You understand? So if price drops further by 4% here, it will buy another 4 times and hold for you. What this tool is actually doing for you is taking advantage of what we call average dollar cost averaging, which means as price keeps dropping, it positions itself to buy for you to buy more of the assets for you at cheaper price. Meanwhile, what it's doing there is reducing your average cost so that you can make much profit. An example is this: as a businessman, or maybe you deal in commodities, you sell commodities. The best time for you to enter the market is when the prices of that commodity, when the prices of your any whatever commodity are cheap. Then you can enter the market to buy more of that profit and hold. You wait until the prices start going up before you sell, so that you can make much more profit. That's the same concept of the dollar cost average that this robot also applies. So as we go further, it means even if price drops further by 5% from the second call, it buys 8 more for you and hold. If price drops further again from that 5.2%, the fourth call, it buys 6 more times, and it keeps repeating that. And at any of these ranges, if price starts going up, it sells what it has buy what is holding at board, and gives you back your profit. And don't forget that we've already said at the previous page that it should take profit for you at every 1.3% upward movement. So at every 1.3% upward movement on whatever stock or asset it is holding for you, it is selling, giving you your profit. And if there is a further drop again, it buys again, hold for you. If there's a movement again upward, it sells for you and give you your profit. And it keeps repeating this process on a cyclical basis, which I'm still going to get to, which we call cycle. It does that till infinity, until you're tired of the process or until you want to change the setup and stuff, but it keeps repeating this for you. So I hope this explains this. To further protect on top here, you can see the margin call drop, which means as the price drops and multiple buying ratio, what it keeps buying for you. So I hope that is clear. So from there, that's all about here. So let's go back. Okay, so once that is done, what you need to do is now you now confirm. You click on confirm. This is the confirm button. You click on confirm, let me click on confirm. And once you have done that, the next thing you want to do again is you want to click on save. This is save up somewhere up here, the extreme right on top. So click on save. So once you have done that, that is all. So the next thing you want to do after clicking on save is this. Okay, you want to now put it on cycle, put your trade on cycle or one shot, which is very, very important. Now the next thing you do is this. For a cycle trade, you come here and make sure here is on cycle. You can see that cycle now. And to do that, this is the button to do that, this one shot cycle. Let me click on it. If I click on this one shot, look at what happens. Now you can see the change. Here becomes one shot and here becomes cycle. But we want here that is one shot to become cycle. So we are going to click on the cycle. You can see the change again to make sure here is on cycle. So that means the trade will keep repeating itself till infinity. Then you can go do every other thing you are doing. It keeps happening for you. It keeps buying and selling on a continual basis. You don't have to do anything. So that is on the cycle mode. Now, what is the one shot which you have here? The one shot means you don't want it to continue on a cycle mode. You just want it to execute that particular trade, that particular buy and sell order, and exit the market to wait for another instruction. So that is one shot. One shot means you don't want it to continue cyclically. You don't want it to continue till infinity. You just want it to just execute a particular buy and sell order, then exit the market. Then you use one shot. Meaning, if you click on um, one shot, my network. Yes, you can see here has changed to one shot. So that's the meaning of one shot. Then I'm explaining the sell button. The sell button is if you want to sell manually. At times you might need to sell manually if you think you are taking enough profit. Now, how do you see that? If here is on a positive, you can decide to sell manually for yourself. But if you have set the robot, you don't even need to use the manual sell. It will always sell for you automatically. And if you want to sell manually, make sure your return rate here is on positive. It shouldn't be on negative. If it's on negative, you'll be selling at a loss. And please, I know you don't want to do that for yourself. You understand? So that is that. Then you have the buy button, which you can also use if you want to buy manually, especially if you want to do what is called manual replenishment, which I will be explaining later. Then the next button you need to know is stop, is margin call button here, which is here, margin call button. Now the margin call button is active. That is why it is showing us stop margin call. Now what is this margin call button about? We have set the margin call. We want it to keep the buy and sell order going on a cyclical basis. So this button activates that. Once you have set that, make sure it is activated so that it can keep buying the dip for you. You understand? But if you want to stop it, if you don't want it to buy the dip further, all you just need to do is come here and click on stop margin call. Now let's do that. Just click on it and press confirm. Then look at it, it has changed to open margin call. So that means it's on stop margin call. But if you want to activate it, all you just need to do is click on the open margin call, confirm it, and now it is there. So the next and the last thing is strategy mode. Now let me explain that. Now, once you click on the strategy mode, it shows you these three things. It shows you whole warehouse mode, subbing mode, and the subbing mode real-time settlement. Now, what is the whole warehouse mode? The whole warehouse mode is the mode that controls your first to fourth margin call. Now let me show you that. Your first to fourth margin call. So our margin call limits. Okay, margin configuration. Your first to number 4 margin call like this, they are treated as a warehouse, as a whole warehouse. That is a whole transaction, meaning it takes account of this transaction at once. Once it sells, it affects all the whole transaction at once and gives you your profit on all this transaction at once at a go. That is the meaning of whole warehouse. That means these 4 transactions are all together in a warehouse. You understand that? So that's the whole. So once your trade is within these ranges and you don't have trades from the fifth call, it's better you leave it on that whole warehouse transaction. That whole warehouse stuff, leave it there. But any trade that exceeds this fourth order to the fifth and more, then we are going to leave it in the subbing real-time settlement. Now let's go there. Let's go back there. Let's go back there. Okay. Now you can see the subbing mode and subbing mode real-time settlement. Subbing mode and subbing mode real-time settlement are the same thing. The only difference is that one is real-time. Now, it means any transaction from your fifth margin to the last margin is treated as an individual transaction. Once your fifth call is sold, it gives you money on that. Once your sixth call is sold, it gives it treats every of those transactions from your fifth to the end as individual transactions. That is the meaning of the sub-bin mode. Now, the sub-bin here means it will wait to complete all the transaction before it gives you your money. While the one with the real time means as it executes each of those transactions, it gives you your money real time, immediately. So we would want to choose the one with the real time because we don't want our money we don't want it to hold our money. So you choose this. That is sub-bin mode real-time settlement. You chose that and okay, I have not choose that. Let me choose it. You mark it, you see. Then once you have done that, you can see this. I've chosen it. So the next thing you want to do is you click on confirm. So you wait for it to activate. Yes, we are good to go. So once you have done that, that is all. You are done with the trade. And now, having set that up or having activated that, now I want to explain one more thing to you before we quickly leave here. That brings us now to explaining this distributed and take profit allocation. Don't forget the other time. Here is whole position take profit ratio, right? Meaning your 1.3% is what you are taking. Now, this 1.3% actually affects your first to the fourth call. Now, from the fifth call to the end of your call, you can actually set varying profit ratios. Now, let me explain that by clicking on this. Now, you can see we have 10 call there. Our first to the fourth call is being handled by the previous 1.3%. Even here, from the fifth call to the 10th call, we still have 1.3% each. But it gives us room to alter this, to alter the profit we want to take on every of those calls. So on your fifth call, you can decide to leave it at 1.3. On your sixth call, you can decide to take 1.5%. On your seventh call, you can decide to take 1.7%. So accordingly, like that, on your eighth call, you can decide to take 2% profits, and that is how that works. So you'll be getting more understanding by the time I start showing you some real-time trade setting which you can follow. But this is just to explain to you these terminologies so that once you are seeing the trade settings, you can actually understand what is going on. Then once you are through, you just come to here to confirm and confirm. Once you have done that again, don't forget to always come to save. That is here. Save. Once you have saved, then the next thing is you want to start the trade. Then you click here. Oh, this has covered it. There's a start button here. Just click on it and the trade will become active. But the setup here is just a general setup I'm just using to illustrate this to explain these terminologies. I'll actually go into trade settings after this video. You can see different trade settings for different amounts or according to the fund you are having. So I hope this explains all these basic terminologies and you are good to go. Thank you very much and thank you for watching this. Thank you.